my book and wax friends. I am Amber. Welcome to my channel. I post all things bookish and home fragrance. And today's video is my 5-star predictions for the next quarter. So the months from this month, which is April through June. So these are my predictions. Hopefully I do better than the first quarter. Go back and watch my wrap up of those predictions. I didn't do very well in predicting what was going to be a 5-star for me, but go back and watch that. Hopefully these next 3 months will be better for me. Okay, so I do have some books here, and then others I'll just put a graphic up here for you so you can see the book. So the first book that I am predicting will be a 5-star is The Geographer's Map to Romance by India Holton. I do have this book on order, so it is coming in the next few days, and I'm so excited. This is the second book in the Love's Academic series. The first book was The Ornithologist's Field Guide to Love. I always get the titles mixed up, so I had to check and make sure that I was saying the right one. And so this next book, The Geographer's Map to Romance, is a marriage of convenience book, and the cousin of the main character in the first book is one of the main characters in this book. And I adored the first book. I loved the banter. I love the humor. It had me cracking up so much. I love the character development of the individual characters, plus the relationship between the two characters. So I feel like this book is going to give me those same feels, and I'm hoping. Anyway, so I'm predicting 5 stars. Okay, the next book on my 5-star predictions is A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I really like Emily Henry's writing most of the time. My favorite book by her is Beach Read. That was my favorite. I think I gave that one 5 stars. And then Book Lovers was my second favorite. But there has been misses for me as well. There's been a couple that I wasn't big fans of. The most recent Funny Story, I actually DNF'd. That one just didn't hit me right. So, but I'm hopeful from the premise of this one. It looks like one that is going to be a 5-star for me. At least I'm crossing my fingers and hoping. So it is about 2 writers that end up going to interview this famous person, this famous lady. And this lady, who's an elderly lady now, she is going to give one of them her rights to her story, to write her biography. And so that is where the story starts, and we'll see how it is. It is a romance. Might be kind of like women's fiction too. I'm not sure how romance heavy this one's going to be, but it sounds like it's going to be a really good story. So 5 stars, hopefully. The next one is a book by an author that I really have enjoyed a lot of her books, and that is Katherine Center, and it is the book that's coming out, The Love Haters. It might be out now by the time I do this video. By the time this video is up, I think it comes out in April, so it might be out now. I know I did my April books I'm anticipating. I just can't remember if I talked about The Love Haters or not. So I'll leave it down here if it comes out this month or not. But anyway, The Love Haters by Katherine Center. I have really enjoyed her writing. I like that she is more of a clean author. She does closed door stuff. She has a little bit of profanity in her books, but it's not super intense, and her romance is closed door. Some of her other books I have rated 5 stars, and so I'm very hopeful about this one. that I am going to really enjoy it. I can't remember the synopsis of this one, but I remember it's about two different people that hate love is pretty much what it is. So anyway, it sounds good. Okay, next up is one I do have on me, and that is Piranesi by Susanna Clarke. I've heard such good things about this. I still really don't want to know too much about it. I've heard it's better to just go into this more blind, but it is a more like whimsical tale where things happen and you kind of have a mystery surrounding it as well. This house that is kind of like the world too or something like that. Like I said, I don't want to spoil myself by reading much in the synopsis, but I've heard it's amazing. So I'm predicting it's going to be 5 stars, hopefully. Okay, then after that, I picked Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor, and these are on my 25 books to read in 2025. So I've heard really good things about this one too. I have read Laini Taylor's Daughter of Smoke and Bone, and I enjoyed that one, but not enough to ever continue the series. But I've heard that this series is even better than that series, and it's magical and whimsical too, from what I've heard. And so I'm hopeful this is going to be 5 stars, but this is a chunkier book for sure. So that is Strange the Dreamer. Then after that, this has been added from last month or the last quarter's 5-star predictions because the book never came in for me from the library, and that is Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. This is the second book in the Crimson Moth duology. The first book was called Heartless Hunter if you're in the US, and it was called Crimson Moth, like UK, Australia, those places. So this is the second and final book, and I'm hopeful that it is going to be a 5-star for me. The first book wasn't 5-star, but I still really enjoyed it. It's a witch and witch hunter type of story, and I really saw the motivations behind both sides. I understood where they were coming from. I felt like the author did a really good job in helping you feel for both sides, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm hopeful that the final book is going to give me those same feels and will give me the 5-star feels. So that is Rebel Witch. Then the next one is also one that has been transferred over from the first quarter. It is Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. And it's another one that the library didn't have it in for me still. I'm still waiting. But I've actually purchased the book now. And so whether the library gets it in for me or not now, it doesn't matter because I'm going to own it. So I'm so excited. It's the second book in the Assistant to the Villain series. The third book actually comes out in 2025, and I'm very excited for that one. It's so fun. It is a kind of like The Office meets fantasy. It's about a girl named Evie. She ends up helping the villain. They think like medieval type of times setting, but in a fantasy world. She comes across him in the forest, and she ends up helping him. And she's looking for a new job. And from that, he ends up offering her a job as his assistant. And it's almost like a corporation. Like I said, it's The Office meets fantasy. And there is a lot of hijinks that happens. There's a lot of good banter between Evie and the villain, but there is depth to the characters as well. There are some hard things that you find out about what happens to the characters, and it was just fun. It was fun. It made me giggle. It made me laugh out loud. It made me root for the characters. And it is a series, at least the first book, that was on the cleaner side. There was no spice. There was a couple like bad words, but they weren't like constant throughout the story or anything like that. So I am really looking forward to Apprentice to the Villain, especially with how things ended in the first book. I'm excited to jump into it. So I'm predicting 5 stars for that one. Then after that, this is another 25 books in 2025 list book, and that is The Blue Castle by L.M. Montgomery. I am a super fan of her Anne of Green Gables series, and I have read quite a few of her other books, but I actually didn't know about this book until this last year when I found out about it. And I was like, why haven't I ever heard of this book? And so because of that, I put it on my 25 book street in 2025. And this is actually on April's TBR. So that this will hopefully get read this month. But this is about a girl named Valancy, and she has lived a sheltered life because she hasn't had the freedom to do anything. She has a domineering mother, and she gets some news, a letter, I think. Yeah, she gets a letter that kind of changes her outlook on life and allows her to do and say exactly what she thinks and feels. And that's where the story goes, is from there. So I'm excited about this. I feel like it'll be 5 stars just because, like I said, I'm a super fan of the Anne series. I love L.M. Montgomery's writing. And yeah, so I'm hopeful. Then after that, I have The Rose Bargain. This is by Sasha Payton Smith. And this is the Fairy Loot edition. Isn't it so, so pretty? I love it so much. It feels like a fairy tale. It's so beautiful. And I'll show you the inside just because I have to. So it's like a regent. It feels like it's Regency. Actually, it is. This is like historical fantasy. And it has a dust jacket, reversible dust jacket. So anyway, I feel like this will be 5 stars just because of the setting. It takes place, as I said, like in Regency or Victorian type of England, but is a fantasy. Oh no, it is Victorian because it's 1848. So it takes place during that time period, but it is a fantasy version of the world. And there are fae, and the queen is actually a fae queen. And during the season, the ladies that are about to come out during the season can go to the queen to make bargains. And the queen will exchange something, like they said, a loss of a finger for a perfect smile. She'll make bargains so that these ladies can attract suitors, type of thing. So I guess in this one, the main character, when she doesn't know what happened to her sister, or something like that, and so she's going to make a bargain to figure out what happened to her sister. And then in this one, the queen ends up having some sort of competition for the ladies of the season to win the hand of the crown prince. But there is another brother, so there's a love triangle element to this one. There's another brother who ends up helping the main character, is what I've heard. So it feels right up my alley, and I think it will be a 5 stars. I'm hopeful. Then the last one I have on my list for this quarter is the first book in the Mistborn series by Brandon Sanderson. So the official title is called The Final Kingdom, I think, but now on the most current editions of the books, it only says Mistborn. But the whole series is called Mistborn. But just so you know, so if you see one that says The Final Empire, that is the first book, but then there's other ones that just say Mistborn. So I don't know much about this book, except that it is a fantasy series, and the magic system has to do with metals, and there is a heist type of element to it. So that's all I know, but I'm excited to jump into this series. I've been meaning to read it for quite a while. This is also on my 25 and 2025, and so I definitely want to get to it, and I predict and am hopeful that it is going to be 5 stars, so I'll continue the series. So that's it, you guys. Those are the 10 books that I am predicting will be 5 stars during the months of April to June. I will get to them, hopefully, and hopefully I'll have a little better predicting this time than I did for the first quarter. Again, I will post the video at the end of this so you can go back and watch how well I actually did with my predictions for the first quarter. But anyway, it's fun. It's fun to predict, even if it ends up not going well. I enjoy doing it. So let me know down below, have you read any of these books that are on my 5-star predictions and what you thought of them? And do any of these sound good to you? I'd like to know that as well. Thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't yet. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.